The car has what appears to be a conventional grille. There's a very important reason for that. That's because Jaguar is still a challenger brand. We're still growing, we're still trying to conquest volume. We're still not actually very well recognised around the world, so it's important that we have a consistent face on all of our vehicles. The interesting thing about the grille though is it actually doesn't work like a conventional car's grille. It has a radiator, an air duct here that scoops air in and channels it through to this extraction vent, which accelerates air over the base of the screen. So it's a device for actually reducing drag on the vehicle. What I love about it is when you approach the car to get into the driver or passenger's door, you can see daylight through that vent. So please feel free to do it. If you look there, you see daylight through the vent there. And I love the idea that the aerodynamic sculpture of the car presents you with these openings in the front and the rear of the vehicle. It's the same story with the rear spoiler. The rear spoiler is open to allow air to pass underneath it. And actually we work really hard to optimise the rake angle of the rear screen. The air stays attached right to the trailing edge of the car. It's so efficient that the car doesn't need a rear screen wiper. Providing the car is moving, it will keep the rear screen clean. And that's because of the aerodynamic performance of the car. Just going back to the front of the vehicle for 1 second. Again, making the car have a familiar Jaguar face. We've included these twin J-blades, so the daylight running lamps are the familiar Jaguar J-blade signature, but we have 4 in the car. This relates back to the quad lamps that used to define British premium saloon cars from back in the day. So Series 1 XJ 1968 had quad Lucas lamps, Lucas the Prince of Darkness, and we've recalled that same design theme by having quad J's in the front of this car. So even though this is a cutting-edge electric zero emissions vehicle, it has a little design reminder of some of our illustrious heritage. Air curtains on the front bumper, so these gloss black blades here, they direct air around the front wheel arch and keep the air attached to the wheel disc and onto the side of the body. You'll notice as you look down the side of I-Pace, it's very sheer-sided, which is quite different to Jaguar's normal approach. We normally like to have hips and a waist on our cars. If you look at an F-Type, it necks in through the middle and it has those muscular rear fenders, those haunches as we call them, and then a tapering tail, which looks really sexy and really beautiful, but from an aerodynamic point of view is not the most efficient solution. On an F-Type, the air detaches around about the midway of the rear wheel arch, creates turbulence, creates drag. Having sheer sides to the car, wheels that are flush with the body side, is actually the most efficient way of managing the air down the car. You'll also notice when you get to the rear of the vehicle, we have very crisp corners on the rear of the car. And the car doesn't have a lot of tapering plan shape on the rear. Again, that's about reducing drag, keeping the air attached right to the last moment and then separating it cleanly on the rear corner of the car. Because 0.29. If you compare that to F-Pace, which is our similar sized conventional engine SUV, F-Pace was best in class for its aerodynamics when we launched it, and that was 0.34. So it's considerably lower than an F-Pace. And the cool thing about I-Pace is we manage the cooling very effectively, we manage the lift very effectively on the car. It works from an aerodynamic and a cooling point of view very efficiently. Because we've got these sheer body sides without that sexy Coke bottle plan shape that we love to do at Jaguar Design, we've compensated by putting a lot of movement into the side view of the car. So you see the front fender is very voluptuous. It has a lot of crown over the front wheel, and then it drops through the waist and then kicks up again through the rear haunch and the rear fender. So you don't have a lot of plan shape movement, but you have a very sexy side profile to the car. So we've added movements and voluptuous features where we can on the vehicle. Coming back round to the rear of the vehicle again, quite a different aspect for a Jaguar once more. As I say, we have these sharp corners designed to separate the airflow. We even continue to feature through the tail lamp there, and you have what's quite a high, wide rear deck. Again, that's deliberate. That reduces aerodynamic drag and reduces lift at the rear of the car. You'll also notice we have a diffuser down on the lower bumper, and the diffuser works on this vehicle because, again, one of the beauties of an electric car is we have a flat battery pack under the car that gives us a lovely flat aluminium floor. So we're really able to manage the airflow underneath the car, over the car and around the car in a very effective way. There's certain details on the car as well, which we ultimately blocked them. These were extraction vents from the rear wheel wells, again managing the airflow out of the wheel wells. We actually found as we were testing and developing the car that we reduced the drag further by blocking them, which is why they are now blocked, because it was a device we put in. Figured out that it worked better when we closed it, so we closed them up. So we've been doing a lot of aerodynamic experimentation with this vehicle to make it as efficient as possible. When you get to the interior of the vehicle, and I'll open the door, you notice also have deploying door handles. Again, that's again the handles out of the 5 miles an hour they withdraw and they're push with the button. The interior of the car, on first glance you look at the dashboard and think, well, that's quite a conventional dashboard, but there's a good reason for that. The safety features that we have to put in for driver and passenger, the passenger airbag and the knee bolster, the lower dashboard that holds your knees in place in a crash, they have to be in the same place whether the car is electric or it has an IC engine. So the building blocks that define the interior from a safety point of view have to remain in the same place, because although this is an electric car, the people that sit in it are the same size and shape as they are if it had an engine. But what we have done is we've really optimised the stowage opportunities down the centre of the car. So you can see clear air through the centre console area there. We have a large stowage area where you can put a smartphone. After launch we'll have capacitive charging in this area here. And also, if I open up the cubby box here, you'll see that the stowage bin between the front seats is huge. You can fit a lady's handbag in there. Also, we discovered when we were designing the car, you can fit 2 wine bottles side by side in there. Not that I'd put that to the test.
Is this a trash bin that you just pulled out?
That is actually a cup holder. Also, full TFT instrument pack, Generation 2 head-up display in the vehicle, which is really crisp and clear and full colour. Wide aspect ratio, HLDF, the central touchscreen there that drives all of the car's main functions. It's as digital as you would imagine a car like this would be.
Is it the same as in the F-Pace?
No, it's unique for this car. And obviously the graphics have been designed to help you manage the way that you drive. So if you're into range preservation and regenerative braking, a little bit like playing a game, it actually shows you when you are regenerating through braking on the vehicle, and makes driving an electric vehicle kind of a fun experience in itself. As I mentioned earlier, the length...
Is there a button there for the regen? Can you... Is there
Yeah, you can select it through the HLDF, which effectively gives you single pedal driving as the term that it's, which is a new term for me, but that's what we now call it, isn't it?
Where do you access that?
Via the HLDF. Another couple of things about the interior package. As I say, it's got about the same couple distance as a long wheelbase XJ. Because there's no transmission tunnel there, we've actually got a stowage tray that's under the rear seats that you can put tablets and laptops in. The rear seat folds flat, so you've got quite a long luggage compartment that allows you to carry skis or boards or whatever in it. So it's an incredibly practical car. And I actually think that for the first time, we talk a lot about, this is a car where you can have your cake and eat it, but you genuinely can with I-Pace. It looks fantastic. It's unique for an SUV in the way that it looks, particularly its silhouette. Has a really spacious interior, has a kind of rich materials that you'd expect from a Jaguar, all of the technology you'd need, and a really practical package, and a car that looks great. So, sound like a salesman now, don't I? Just sign here. So, if you'd like to buy
here's my credit card.
So that's kind of it, guys. That's a quick 10 minutes off the top of my head overview of the design of I-Pace.
Awesome.
Sorry? Yeah, the whole body.